Next on News 3 at 11, Savannah Fire spokesman charged with public indecency. We have the disturbing arrest. Human trafficking, a growing problem in the Palmetto State. We will tell you how leaders there are fighting the problem.
And we've seen quite a few showers and thunderstorms throughout the work week, and it looks as though a chance over the weekend is going to continue. So we're tracking that and much more coming up in just a few minutes.
WSAV News 3 at 11 starts now.
Now, the smart choice for news, weather, and sports for Georgia's coastal empire and the South Carolina Lowcountry. This is WSAV News 3 on your side at 11.
Good evening. I'm Tina Tyus Shaw. Ben is off tonight. Thank you for joining us. Our top story is one that all of Savannah is talking about, and we first broke it this afternoon on WSAV.com. A shocking crime with a name and face you might know very well. News 3's Andrew Davis reports on the public indecency arrest of Savannah Fire Public Information Officer Mark Keller.
This mugshot is the end of the story. Mark Keller's Savannah Fire's face during fires, disasters, and accidents, now facing charges of public indecency. Dash camera video shows a Port Wentworth police officer rolling up to Interstate 95 right near the Georgia Welcome Center. There, Keller was in his car and claiming he stopped and was looking for things that were rolling around inside. But a witness who called 911 said moments before that he was outside the vehicle, naked and masturbating.
Officer, I was shocked, and then the driver in front of me, he saw the exact same thing, and I was like, I am not seeing this.
And he was just naked on the side of the road?
Soon after, the officer confronted Keller about what he was told.
I got a call for an individual sitting in a white SUV underneath the light by the Welcome Center, naked, masturbating.
I wasn't naked masturbating.
Okay.
Police then administered a field sobriety test on Keller and a breathalyzer, which showed he was under the legal limit. Keller did admit he had a gun in the car, but more unusual than that, when officers searched, they found a bottle which Keller said was filled with water, but was actually filled with urine. Keller also told the officer, according to the police report, he was not wearing any underwear under his shorts, and he, quote, only wore underwear while at work. After getting all the details and that witness saying he would give an official statement, Port Wentworth police decided to make an arrest.
All right, right now you're being placed under arrest for indecent exposure, okay?
Indecent exposure?
Yes, sir. For standing out here masturbating.
And Andrew Davis tells us that Keller is charged with one count of public indecency, which is a misdemeanor. He was given a $760 bond and was out of jail by 9:30 this morning. Well, News 3 reached out to city officials for a comment. A spokesperson did respond, saying they do not issue statements or do interviews on personnel matters. She did confirm, quote, that Mr. Keller has been placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. We did confirm that it is paid leave.
And one final question, a yes or no answer. Is your house under foreclosure right now?
No, my house is not under foreclosure right now.
That was Alderman Tony Thomas's response to our Andrew Davis Wednesday after a special city council meeting to censure him. Now, the mayor wanted to publicly reprimand him for making a derogatory comment to a local reporter looking into his home being foreclosed. That was supposed to happen June 6th. News 3 did check, and Thomas's home was listed, but as of yesterday, that listing has been removed. New tonight, an elderly woman in Glenn County is missing. Police are still trying to get an understanding of what happened to Linda Mansfield and where she may be. The search has been going on since last weekend, and they say that they've made some progress, but still no luck finding her. Around South Carolina, Attorney General Henry McMaster says human trafficking is the fastest growing criminal enterprise out there. The State Human Trafficking Task Force met today, and our Capitol reporter Robert Kittle talked to a victim.
In a room packed with people working to stop human trafficking, Heather Cook has lived it. When she was just 14, an older man wooed her away by making her feel special, telling her he could take her away from an unhappy home life.
I left home, followed him, and he ended up sexually exploiting me shortly thereafter. So then it became a place where we needed this, we needed that, I had to work for this, I had to do that. And so that was when I was 14.
The State Human Trafficking Task Force discussed how to fight the problem. Attorney General Alan Wilson says awareness is the first step because when he first ran for office, he didn't know how bad the problem is.
I think one of the things that I would like to see come out of this task force is that we have mandated curriculum, age-appropriate curriculum for all elementary, middle, and high school students as it relates to human trafficking.
Human trafficking is not just sexual exploitation. It can be migrants who are forced to work.
The curriculum would teach kids what it is and how to spot it in a friend. The Attorney General says sometimes victims may not even be aware of what's going on, or they may know but not know how to get out of it. In Heather's case, she was able to break away when she went to prison for some of the things they were involved in.
When I sit in rooms like this and I say to myself sometimes, wow, what if the awareness and what if it had been raised when I was 14 years old? What could have been prevented in my life?
She now volunteers to help other victims and says she's excited about what the task force and the state are doing.
In Columbia, Robert Kittle, WSAV News 3.
The South Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault is part of that task force. One of their concerns is that victims can sometimes get lost in the legal system when they're arrested for prostitution that they were forced into. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster making stops in South Carolina today, right here in the Low Country, to speak with leaders. With the start of hurricane season, well, he had one message: you need to be prepared. There is a new hurricane guide online at the South Carolina State website with evacuation zones, evacuation routes, and safety checks before and after a hurricane. Now, the governor did stress that people really should pay attention to detail and where they should get that information.
So we would urge the citizens not only to be prepared, not only to have your gas tank filled up, not only to have your house ready to be closed up, to have a plan for your animals and know which route you're to take, but also be sure to get your information from channels that are authentic and are reliable.
Well, overall, even if the governor says it is safe to come back home, it's ultimately the county's decision. And a reminder for you, you can find everything needed to prepare at WSAV.com. Just look under the weather tab for WSAV Hurricane Central. In the Low Country, the 2017 senior class of Royal Live Oaks Academy is the first to graduate from a charter school in Hardeeville. 25 students started the journey together, but last night they marched across the stage -1. Their classmate, Cody Lax, took his life last October after struggling with family and relationship problems. He was on track to be valedictorian and took his robotics team to 15th in the world.
Cody was our valedictorian of our senior class. We just miss him deeply, and I know he's like looking down on us. And he just wants us to do great things.
He's in a better place in that he's not suffering whatever he was going through. But I mean, he's truly going to be missed, and it's something that we will have to keep moving forward with.
Well, some of his classmates are joining the Air Force to live out Cody's dream. If you or someone you know has thoughts about suicide, there is help available. We have that information for you on WSAV.com. Simply search crisis. For teens searching for job assistance, there is an organization that can help, and News 3's Devin Negretti is joining us right now with what is working.
Tina, did you know that Goodwill can actually give you more than just clothes? Well, Goodwill of Southeast Georgia can help you get a job too. They have a career center at the corporate office here in Savannah, and they help more than just adults to find jobs.
They may be 16 and they're wanting to know, well, you know, I have no work experience, you know, naturally. So what is it that I need to be, you know, learning? What are some of the soft skills that I need to be developing now? We want to help people find the job or the career that they're looking for.
This free service Goodwill provides helps adults and teens get on the right track to finding a job.
We try to provide a warm setting for individuals to come in, ask questions where they're not being judged.
Christian Noble is one of the job specialists who helps you create resumes, cover letters, and even go through the steps of getting a job. They use sites like Indeed.com to find jobs, and they even do interviews.
I love the mock interviews because it's essentially a practice session of what it would be like in an interviewing room.
It's an effort to help teens during the summer months when they're out of school.
You can provide them opportunities where they are focusing on things that benefits them and not things that are going to, you know, lead them to a life of violence. Once you eliminate those barriers for youth not being able to, get the opportunities that they want, work, you essentially will shorten the crime rates.
Just last month at one of the Savannah Forward meetings, teens asked for opportunities to learn these types of skills.
Goodwill, we don't just focus on clothing, we try to cover all bases of resources and providing for the community, because the community provides for us. Our youth are very important, and in Savannah, the numbers of our youth that we get that may be in school and the ones that are not in school, we want to make sure that we're helping all of them, because that's our future.
Noble says the Goodwill door is always open. They also host a Facebook Live video every Wednesday on their Goodwill Southeast Georgia page to give you advice. I'm Devin Agretti reporting, WSAV News 3.
Devin, thank you. In a community report, Savannah is the backdrop for a new feature film. Production crews shot parts of the movie Meant to Be Broken at Nuts and Bolts Auto Parts just off of Abercorn Street this afternoon. The scenes are being shot by the same production team that won Best Film for Savannah in last year's 48 Hours film project. It is Buddy Check 3 Day. Coming up, a well-known singer says her cancer is back. Reaction from a local survivor.
And coming up in the Complete Storm Team 3 forecast, over the weekend we are expecting a few showers and storms and an even better chance next week. We will track it all after the break. You're watching WSAV News 3 on your side at 11.